What if the most dangerous part of your day wasn't crossing a busy street or driving in heavy traffic, but rather the first 30 minutes after you open your eyes? It sounds strange, doesn't it? The morning is supposed to be a time of quiet renewal, a gentle start to a new day. For many over the age of 60, however, this peaceful period hides a series of unrecognized risks. Simple, almost automatic habits, performed day after day, could be silently tripling your risk of a stroke. This isn't meant to cause fear, but to bring light to a critical concern for senior health that often goes completely unnoticed. We often worry about the big things, like diet and exercise throughout the day, but we overlook the delicate transition our body makes from a state of rest to a state of activity. In those first few moments, your body is in its most vulnerable state. Your blood pressure, your hydration levels, your circulation, they are all in a delicate balance. Tipping that balance, even slightly, can set off a dangerous chain reaction. You might feel a little dizzy when you stand up, or perhaps you feel a bit sluggish until you have that first cup of coffee. Many people dismiss these as normal parts of aging, but they can be whispers, subtle warnings from your body that something is not right. The good news is that understanding these risks is the first step toward eliminating them. The solutions are not complex. They don't require expensive equipment or drastic lifestyle changes. They are small, mindful adjustments to the way you begin your day. I am Dr. Lucas Mason, and in my more than 30 years of caring for patients with cardiovascular and neurological conditions, I've seen how the smallest morning routines can have the biggest impact on long-term health. I've witnessed firsthand how simple changes can transform a person's risk profile from high to low. It's about working with your body, not against it, especially during that critical morning window. So, what if you could redesign your morning to be a fortress for your brain? Before continuing, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any health tips designed especially for you. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. If not, give it a thumbs down to help us improve. Let's explore the first silent threat that many people invite into their mornings without a second thought. For millions, the very first act of the day is reaching for a cup of coffee. That rich aroma, the warmth of the mug, it feels like the official start of the day. But consuming coffee immediately after waking, before you've had any water, is one of the most significant unrecognized habits that elevates stroke risk. Here's why. Overnight, while you sleep, your body is quietly at work, repairing cells and consolidating memories. This process uses up water. You also lose a significant amount of water simply through breathing. So when you wake up, you are naturally in a state of mild dehydration. Your blood is slightly thicker, a bit more viscous than it should be. Now imagine pouring a diuretic, which is what caffeine is, into that system. A diuretic is a substance that makes you urinate more, further depleting your body of water. So that morning coffee, instead of hydrating you, actually exacerbates the dehydration you're already experiencing. This makes your already thick blood even thicker, almost like turning a free-flowing river into slow-moving sludge. Thicker blood has a much harder time traveling through the narrow highways of your circulatory system, especially the delicate vessels in your brain. It increases the potential for clots to form. The heart has to pump harder to move this thicker blood, which in turn elevates your blood pressure. So in one single act, you've made your blood thicker, more prone to clotting, and increased the pressure being exerted on your artery walls. This is a dangerous combination especially in the morning when blood pressure naturally experiences a surge. I remember a patient of mine, a gentleman named Frank, who was 68. He was the epitome of routine. Every morning, the first thing he did was brew a strong pot of coffee. He told me he couldn't function without it. He would often feel a bit lightheaded in the mornings, but brushed it off. One day he suffered a transient ischemic attack, or a mini-stroke. When we reviewed his daily habits, the coffee ritual stood out. We made one simple change. He had to drink a large glass of water before his coffee. It took some getting used to, but within a few weeks he told me the morning lightheadedness was gone. He felt more alert, even before the caffeine kicked in. He had, in essence, been starting his day in a state of circulatory stress. The solution isn't to give up coffee entirely, but to change its timing. Think of it this way. Your body is a desert after a long night. The first thing it needs is an oasis, a pure source of water to rehydrate every cell and restore the natural flow of your blood. The coffee can come later, once your system is rebalanced. By simply drinking 16 ounces of water right after you wake up, you are effectively thinning your blood, lowering the immediate strain on your heart, and reducing that critical clotting potential. It's a small change in sequence with a profound impact on your brain's safety. Now let's move to the second habit, which often happens right after that first alarm buzzes. It's the habit of rushing. We live in a world that values speed and efficiency, but your body, especially after 60, values a slow, deliberate start. The alarm goes off and you immediately sit up, swing your legs over the side of the bed, and stand, perhaps heading quickly to the bathroom. This sequence feels normal, but it can create a sudden and dangerous fluctuation in your blood pressure. When you are lying down, gravity distributes your blood evenly throughout your body. The moment you stand up, gravity pulls a significant amount of that blood down into your legs and abdomen. In a younger person, the blood vessels react instantly, constricting to push the blood back up to the heart and brain, maintaining stable blood pressure. This is a process called orthostatic regulation. As we age, however, this response can become sluggish. The vessels don't constrict as quickly or as effectively. The result is a temporary but sharp drop in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. This is why you might feel dizzy, lightheaded, or even see spots for a moment after standing up too fast. That dizziness is a sign that your brain is being temporarily starved of oxygen-rich blood. This moment of poor cerebral perfusion is a window of high risk. It's a moment when a clot could more easily lodge in a vessel, or the stress of the sudden pressure change could damage a weakened artery wall. Now let us add another layer to this: the rush to the bathroom. This is particularly dangerous. If you rush to the toilet and then strain, you are creating a physiological event called the Valsalva maneuver. Straining increases the pressure in your chest, which initially squeezes the major blood vessels and raises blood pressure. But when you relax, there's a sudden, rapid drop in pressure, followed by an overshoot as the body tries to compensate. These wild swings in blood pressure are incredibly dangerous for the delicate vessels in the brain. I had a patient, a lovely woman named Eleanor, who fell and broke her hip. When we investigated the cause of the fall, she described a classic scenario. Her alarm went off, she rushed to the bathroom as she always did, felt intensely dizzy, and woke up on the floor. Her fall wasn't just an accident. It was caused by a sudden drop in blood flow to her brain triggered by standing up too quickly. Her story is a powerful reminder. The morning is not a race. The solution is to think in stages. First, when you wake up, don't jump up. Lie in bed for a minute and do some gentle movements. Wiggle your toes, Flex your ankles. Gently stretch your arms. This begins to activate your circulation before gravity comes into play. Second, sit on the edge of the bed for at least 30 to 60 seconds. Let your body adjust to being upright. This gives your blood vessels time to respond and stabilize your blood pressure. Third, stand up slowly and hold on to something if you need to. Only then should you start walking calmly to the bathroom. This gentle, multi-step process respects your body's need to adapt and can prevent those dangerous drops in blood flow to the brain. It turns a moment of risk into a moment of mindful self-care. Closely related to the danger of rushing is the danger of its opposite, prolonged stillness. This might seem contradictory, but both extremes are problematic. We've discussed the risk of jumping out of bed, but what about staying in bed, perhaps reading or checking your phone for an extended period after waking? Or sitting in a chair for a long time right after you get up? This extended stillness is another unrecognized hazard. When you remain still for too long in an upright or seated position, especially in the morning, your circulatory system is at a disadvantage. Without movement, the muscles in your legs, particularly your calf muscles, are not contracting. These muscle contractions are crucial. They act as a second heart, squeezing the veins in your legs to help pump blood back up to your heart against the pull of gravity. When you are still, this pumping action is absent. Blood begins to pool in your lower extremities. This isn't just a minor issue. This stagnation, or venous stasis, means a large volume of your blood is essentially trapped in your legs, not circulating effectively. This leads to two major problems for your brain. First, it reduces the overall volume of blood returning to the heart, which in turn reduces the amount of freshly oxygenated blood the heart can pump out to the rest of the body, including the brain. This can lead to that feeling of morning fog or sluggishness, which is a symptom of suboptimal cerebral perfusion. Your brain is not getting the robust supply of oxygen and nutrients it needs to function at its best. Second, stagnant blood is more likely to clot. Think of a flowing stream versus a still pond. The moving water is clear, while the still pond allows sediment to settle and algae to grow. Similarly, when blood is stagnant, the clotting factors within it can activate more easily, leading to the formation of a deep vein thrombosis, DVT, a clot in the legs. If a piece of that clot breaks off, it can travel through your bloodstream and lodge in the lungs, causing a pulmonary embolism, or in the brain, causing a stroke. This is why long-haul flights are a risk factor for DVT. People are sitting still for hours. Your morning can be like a mini long-haul flight if you're not careful. A former colleague of mine shared a story about his own father. He was a retired professor who loved to spend his first waking hour in his favorite armchair with the newspaper. He developed a DVT that was thankfully caught early. His doctor identified his prolonged morning stillness as a major contributing factor. The solution is simple and intuitive: gentle movement. This doesn't mean you need to do a full workout the moment you get up. It simply means integrating small movements into your first hour. After you've sat on the edge of your bed, stand up and march in place for a minute. When you're waiting for the water to heat for your tea, do some calf raises. Walk around the room. The key is to continuously engage those leg muscles to keep your blood from pooling and ensure your brain is receiving a steady, uninterrupted supply of oxygen. Movement is life for your circulation. Now let us talk about what you put or don't put into your body first thing in the morning. Many people, in an effort to be healthy or manage their weight, skip breakfast. Others might take their morning medications on an empty stomach to get it over with. Both of these habits can inadvertently trigger a hormonal cascade that increases stroke risk. Your body has been fasting all night. Your blood sugar, or glucose, is at its lowest point. Glucose is the primary fuel for your brain. When you skip breakfast, your blood sugar levels can drop even further, leading to a condition called hypoglycemia. When your body senses that its primary fuel source is critically low, it panics. It activates its emergency response system, releasing a flood of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones are part of the fight-or-flight response. Their job is to quickly raise blood sugar by telling the liver to release its stored glucose. But they do more than that. Adrenaline constricts your blood vessels and makes your heart beat faster, causing a sharp spike in blood pressure. Cortisol, over time, can make your blood vessels more rigid and prone to damage. Furthermore, these stress hormones also make your blood platelets stickier, which again increases the risk of forming a dangerous clot. So by skipping that first meal, you are essentially telling your body it's in a state of emergency, creating the very conditions that are conducive to a stroke: high blood pressure and thicker, stickier blood. Taking certain medications on an empty stomach can also be problematic. Some pills can irritate the stomach lining, but more importantly, the act of not eating can trigger the same hypoglycemic stress response. I once consulted on the case of a woman, Martha, who was very diligent about her health. She took her blood pressure medication every morning, but always waited until lunch to eat her first meal. She was experiencing inexplicable blood pressure spikes in the mornings, the very thing her medication was supposed to prevent. It turned out that her morning fasting was inducing a stress response that was powerful enough to counteract her medication. The solution was a small, balanced breakfast within an hour of waking. This doesn't have to be a large meal. A piece of whole grain toast with avocado, a bowl of oatmeal with berries, or a hard-boiled egg are all excellent choices. The goal is to provide your body with a steady source of energy to gently raise your blood sugar and turn off that hormonal alarm system. This simple act of fueling your body properly provides a stable foundation for your blood pressure and circulation for the rest of the day. It tells your body that all is well, there is no emergency, and it can function in a state of calm balance. In our modern world, one of the newest and most insidious morning habits involves not a physical action, but a mental one. What is the first thing many of us reach for when we wake up, sometimes even before our feet touch the floor? The smartphone. We check the news, scroll through social media, read work emails. We plunge our minds directly into a world of stress, outrage, and obligation before our bodies are even fully awake. This habit may seem harmless, but it's the emotional equivalent of jumping out of bed into a sprint. When you expose your brain to stressful information first thing in the morning, you are immediately activating your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response we discussed earlier. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real-life threat, like a tiger chasing you, and a perceived threat, like a distressing news headline or an urgent email from your boss. The physiological response is the same. Your adrenal glands flood your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes shallow, and crucially, your blood vessels constrict. Imagine your arteries as flexible hoses. When you are calm, they are wide and open, allowing blood to flow easily. When you are stressed, those hoses are squeezed, becoming narrow and tight. This constriction forces your heart to pump with much greater force to push the same amount of blood through a smaller space, causing an immediate and significant spike in your blood pressure. Doing this every single morning puts an immense strain on your entire cardiovascular system. It's like starting a cold car engine and immediately revving it to the red line. Over time, this repeated stress can damage the delicate inner lining of the arteries, creating rough spots where plaque can build up and clots can form. It contributes to chronic hypertension, a primary predictor of stroke. A patient once told me his morning routine was to wake up and spend 30 minutes reading political news, which he admitted always made him angry. His morning blood pressure readings were consistently sky high. He described it as starting the day in a state of battle. I challenged him to a 1-week experiment. No phone for the first hour of the day. Instead, I suggested he listen to calm music, look out the window, or do some light stretching. The change was remarkable. After just 1 week, his morning blood pressure readings were significantly lower. He said he felt calmer and more in control for the entire day. He hadn't changed his diet, his medication, or his exercise. He had simply changed his morning mental state. Protecting your brain in the morning isn't just about what you do with your body. It's about what you do with your mind. Guard that first hour of your day fiercely. Let it be a sanctuary of peace and calm. The news, the emails, the endless scroll of social media, all of it can wait. Your health, however, cannot. Allow your body and mind to awaken gently without the jolt of artificial stress. This simple act of mental hygiene may be one of the most powerful things you can do to protect yourself. Having discussed the habits to avoid, let's focus on the single most powerful habit to adopt. It is the practice of monitoring your morning blood pressure. The morning hours between 6 a.m. and noon are when the risk of heart attack and stroke is at its absolute highest. This is due to a natural surge in blood pressure and stress hormones that is part of our circadian rhythm, designed to help us wake up and become active. If you already have hypertension, this morning surge can be dangerously exaggerated. Neglecting to check your blood pressure during this volatile period means you are flying blind. You are missing the most critical data about your cardiovascular health. Many people check their blood pressure at the doctor's office, or perhaps in the evening when they are relaxed. These readings are useful, but they don't give the full picture. A normal reading in the afternoon can provide a false sense of security if your pressure is dangerously high every morning. I often tell my patients that a home blood pressure monitor is as essential as a thermometer. It's a tool that gives you power, the power of knowledge. Seeing those numbers every day allows you and your doctor to make informed decisions about your treatment. It helps you see the direct impact of lifestyle changes. Did your pressure go down after a week of drinking water first and avoiding morning stress? That's powerful positive reinforcement. Did it spike after a particularly salty dinner? That's a crucial lesson. The process itself should be part of a calm routine. After you've had your water, sat on the edge of the bed, and walked around a bit, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Don't talk or watch TV. Just breathe, then take the reading. This gives you the most accurate baseline. It's a 5-minute investment that could save your life. It transforms you from a passive patient into an active participant in your own health. So we've journeyed through the hidden risks of the morning. We've seen how coffee on an empty stomach thickens the blood, how rushing out of bed can starve the brain of oxygen, how stillness allows blood to pool, how skipping breakfast triggers stress hormones, and how mental stress constricts our arteries. Now let's put it all together. Let's build a new morning ritual, a simple, life-saving sequence that turns a period of risk into a period of protection. Think of it as a gift you give to your brain each and every day. First, upon waking, before anything else, drink a large glass of room temperature water. This is non-negotiable. You are rehydrating your body, thinning your blood, and preparing your system for the day. Second, while still in bed, move gently. Wiggle your toes and fingers. Flex your ankles. Do a few gentle stretches. Wake up your muscles and your circulation before you ask your body to fight gravity. Third, sit on the edge of the bed for at least 1 full minute. Take a few deep, calm breaths. Let your blood pressure stabilize. This is your moment of transition. There is no rush. Fourth, stand up slowly and begin to move. Walk around your room. Do a few calf raises while you wait for your tea to steep. The goal is gentle, continuous movement to prevent blood from pooling in your legs. Fifth, have a small, balanced breakfast. Fuel your body. Give your brain the steady energy it needs. This turns off the hormonal stress alarms and creates a state of balance. It is only after you have done all of these things that you can have your cup of coffee if you choose. And finally, create a sanctuary of calm. Avoid your phone and the news for that first hour. Instead, listen to music, meditate, or simply look out a window. As part of this calm, take your blood pressure reading. This isn't a list of chores. It is a sequence of self-respect. It's an acknowledgement that your health is precious and that the way you begin your day sets the stage for your entire life. Your morning holds the power to protect your future. By treating those first few moments with intention and care, you are not just starting your day, you are safeguarding your brain, you are honoring your body, and you are paving the way for many more healthy, vibrant mornings to come. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If you found this information valuable, please share it with someone you care about. Every share can make a difference. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.